Hi, I'm Clare. I first started working with Tom back in October. Um, the reason I had first, I suppose, gone to him for this is because I was getting quite frustrated and I couldn't understand why my blood glucose was just all over the place, and it didn't make sense in my head why it was, because I'm already quite a fit person. I love doing my workouts, and I would eat quite well. Um, but I think I was also ignoring a lot of issues um, that were there, and I knew they were there. I just wasn't really confronting them. Um, at the time, I was really struggling with my management, and I kind of let it go. So I thought it was maybe time for me to kind of just reach out and get some help with my management. And I had been following Tom for a while on Instagram, and I'd heard like good things and everything. So I was like, you know what, I may as well just give it a go and go from there. Um, so since I had started in October and finished, I suppose, just February gone, um, and average is my 30-day average is now 7.7. It was, and then my 90-day average was originally 10.4, and now it's gone down to 7.9. So a massive difference. Tom was so helpful with everything, and even the community that was created amongst other um, diabetics in like the Facebook group. If you had a question, you could ask, and everybody would chime in, and they would give you their opinion on what works for them and what could work for you. And it was really nice to see, you know, that certain things may work for somebody and then maybe not another. And like kind of it took the loneliness out of diabetes for me, and made me understand that you do have to kind of confront your issues, because the longer you hide it, the harder it's going to get for you. Um, so that was, I suppose, my main taking from it as well, that I was pretty much taking my problems head on and confronting them. My biggest takeaway probably from doing the course was just changing my habits. Um, and changing them for the better. Like pre-bolusing was probably the most helpful thing. And while I knew it before I had worked with Tom, like it made a massive difference once I actually started to implement it every single day. And now I do it every day, and it's made a massive change in my blood sugars. And from that, pre-bolusing actually made me understand that my basals weren't quite correct. I actually needed much less than I previously thought, because I was correcting a good bit before I had started with Tom, just because of spikes after meals and everything. So um, I had to change. I actually ended up changing my basal rates and everything. So once I had started implementing all the good habits and changing the way I kind of look at my diabetes, like that, like the mental change, massive for me. Um, because before I would have been quite afraid to take it on, or to face it head on. Um, but as you know, diabetes can be quite lonely sometimes, especially if you don't really have any friends who are diabetics or anything like that. So, um, so it took me a while to realize that I'm not alone in this situation, and that everybody goes through the same thing you do as a diabetic, um, whether you've had it for 10 years or 40 years. Everybody goes through the same thing. Um, and that was probably the best thing to take away from it, is that I didn't feel as alone anymore, um, because I come from a place that I don't know anyone with diabetes. There's nobody in my family with diabetes. My friends don't have any diabetes. Um, So when I first approached it as well, I was extremely reluctant would be a good word to describe how I didn't want to help myself. So I'm very grateful for the fact that working with Tom and meeting all the other diabetics that are on the Facebook group, that like, it's completely changed my management for the better. So I highly recommend. Where I really do.